Let me show you how to use Lightspeed, which is a Chromebook monitoring software for your classes. First, you'll click on the Home button and then click on the Lightspeed logo. Lightspeed attaches to your Google Classes. They are automatically synced and usually take about a day to be uploaded. So let's click on our test class. And right now it shows you this class is not currently in session. So the first thing we need to do is create a schedule for our class. So it is 1:25 right now, which would be 7th period. So let's click on the gear right here and create a schedule. You can rename the class. You can set what color you want it to show up on the main screen. There's two kinds of schedules you can do. First one is ad hoc, which is a short term that you can do from 15 minutes to 2 hours. We're going to do a custom one and click add schedule. We're going to select the days where the time is the same, and we're going to set it from 1:25 p.m. to 2:15 p.m. And we're also going to add a schedule for Wednesday because Wednesday 7th period is a little bit different. It'll be 1:05 to 1:35. It's important to set the correct time for your class because as other teachers use this feature, if you create different classroom settings and your schedules overlap, one will inevitably override the other, and that'll create a conflict for the student and the teacher. So make sure that you set your class for your specific times. And I'm going to hit Save Settings, and this should change and say that we're in session. So normally, whenever you have students signed in, you'll see all of them lined up across here, and you'll be able to see their screens in real time. It gives you some options whenever you select those screens, but right now we're going to just look at a couple of the features. First and foremost, you can pause the internet for all students. Flip that, get their attention, and then you can turn it back on. We'll look at the different modes that we can have. The first option is off. Students can browse all sites permitted by your school district. Our web filters are still in place, but you've provided no additional limitations. The next one is allow mode. This, students can only access websites that you add to the list. So it restricts all of the internet except for the ones that you add. So let's create an allow list. And you can click over here to the side and let's add website URLs. Save. So now all of the internet except for nba.com is restricted. You can see the number of websites you have added to this list here, and you can toggle this on or off here as well. But let's say that we want to add more. You can just type in multiple websites and it'll give you a check mark saying that it's been added to the list. And so now there are two websites that they are allowed to go to, and you'll hit apply allow changes. And so now those are the only two websites that the class can go to. The other option is block mode. Students can browse all websites except for the ones you add to the list below. So you can add a new block list and it works just the same, except the websites that you add here are excluded from the internet. So they have access to everything except for the ones that you add to this list. And you can only run one or the other. You can only do allow mode or block mode, and then make sure that this is turned on as well. That little toggle switch is on. Some other options you can do under edit details is change the name, because as you add them, it just gives it a generic name and it's difficult to keep track of which websites are allowed under which list. Something to note as well is under advanced options. If you click here, allow single sign-on or SSO, whenever you do that, that allows students to access Google Suite. Otherwise, it's going to restrict them to specific addresses that you input in your allow list. And so if you click this, allow single sign-on, it allows them to access Google Drive, Gmail, Google Docs, etc. And so apply block changes. So now we're in block mode. So for all students, again, block web rules are active for everyone. Another option that you have here is you can lock screens for all students. Again, you can unlock screens for all students. You can send links if you want to push out a web address to all of your students, you select send link. It'll make it pop up on their screens. You can send individual messages. This one, again, send message to all students. It'll make a message pop up on their screen. And then you can also share your screen with all students. It's giving you a warning, your screen shared with all students. So if you want to check your email or something, make sure that you stop sharing with your students. So just ask, do you want a specific tab or a whole window or your whole screen? So just make sure you're selecting which option you wish to share with your students. And another option is add student. If for some reason Google doesn't sync it automatically to Lightspeed, you can add a student manually. Some other options you have are to create a group. So it applies this setting to the entire class, but let's say that there's a specific group of students that are having difficulty staying focused, or there's a website that you do not want them to access, or you want to lock them to specific ones. You're just creating this same option for a smaller group of students. You click create group, name the group, save. So then you would drag students into this area. You could pull them from here to here, and it'll show you if you have students that are online, they'll pop up in a different box as well. You'd say group web rules, and then you do the same thing as we did before, either off, allow mode, or block mode. And it lets you use your pre-made block lists or allow lists. You just have to toggle them on for that group and hit apply allow changes. So for these students, they are blocked from YouTube, but they are also restricted to NBA.com and NFL.com. Couple things that I would caution you is it's super easy to just sit behind your desk and watch the students' screens on Lightspeed. But what I would encourage you to do is still circulate the room. Use your eyes on their screen to see if they're working, because that still lets you answer questions and lets you monitor the students as they're working. This is just an additional layer of classroom management that you can use to help manage your students. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I will do my best to help you out.